What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Game Freak Daniel, aka Big Wifey. Who I didn't say that. She said who looks like shitty. Anyway, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Game Freak Daniel, aka Big D. And back back with another unboxing video. I did not mean to slam down on that after it says fragile. But today I got me. Now, this one's from me, but I ordered a brand new wheel for my racing simulator. Thanks to my wifey getting me the simulator for Christmas. So far, this is what I got going on with the simulator. So, right here is the front cockpit, as they call it. So, this is what she got me for Christmas, so I put it together. But this racing wheel I've had for many years, since 2017, and this is the Thrustmaster T80. I've had this for many years. These retail for $100, brand new back then. Nowadays they're about worth 50 bucks. So, you know, there's nothing crazy with them. They're just a nice beginner wheel for somebody who's getting started, and that's why I went with it. It was pretty cheap and a nice beginner wheel. It's got a bungee cord resistance. That's how it comes back to the center. Other than that, no feedbacks, no force feedbacks, nothing like that. Just a nice beginner wheel, and it fits pretty nice. And then the pedal, gas and brake, that's literally it. So I've had this guy, I think back then I paid about $70, $80 on sale back then, 2017. But they're not worth much nowadays. So if you still want a nice beginner wheel, you can still get these pretty dirt cheap for like 50 bucks on eBay. But since my wife got me the front part of the cockpit, I'm gonna try to get the rear as well. And my wife also bought me that racing chair you seen in there, like, what was it, like 2 years ago now? Something like 2 years ago. I think it was a birthday present. Yeah, it was a birthday present that she got me 2 years ago for that chair. So, since she got me the chair and the front cockpit, I'm going to go ahead and try to go ahead and buy the rest to turn it into a full racing kit. So, I'm going to try to get the back so I can mount the chair. It's going to be a nice project for sure. So, I want to make a nice racing simulator for sure. So anyway, back to this. This is going to be the new wheel that is going on that simulator. So let's go ahead and open it up. And I've been waiting all day for this to come in, as the UPS guy took forever, almost half of the day away. But I was watching for him and I see him pulled up and I was excited, because I do have to go to work. So I want to get it together while I can. Alright, so after I get this out, I'm going to tell you guys a little story about this, because it's just the wheel. I literally just paid just for the wheel. Boom. Alright, so this is the brand new Thrustmaster T248, which came out last year, I believe, 2021, for the PlayStation 5 and PS4. So this is the PlayStation version of the Thrustmaster T248. This is a very, very expensive wheel. This wheel retails for $400, brand new. Now, I bought it untested on eBay for $69, just for the wheel. That's it. It's untested, so I don't know if it works, but I'm pretty sure it does work. The person that had it didn't have nothing to test it with. Thankfully, I have something. So if we look on the back here, luckily I have something that takes this, because it comes with no cords. Like I said, I bought it off a dude on eBay, untested, because he wasn't sure if it works, and he had nothing to test it with. So I took my chance and paid $69 for a $400 wheel. Now, if this works, I got an amazing deal out of it. So if we look on the back, here's the model name, T248. Takes 18.5 volts, pretty much at amps. Now, thankfully, I have a switch power converter that I can switch the volts to match this, and I have different plugins. So thankfully, I have a plug that will fit this, and it also takes other plugs as well. It takes a Type-C. So right here is all the plugs under here. So the one on the far left here. So I want to show you guys. So right over here is where your pedals will go. So for now, I'm gonna plug in these pedals for now until I get the other ones. So I'm gonna use these for now until. So I'm gonna buy brand new pedals for my new wheel. I'm gonna get the one with the clutch. Comes with the clutch, brake, and gas. More expensive, but it's better worth it, and made out of pure metal. But for now, I'll just plug these in for now, just to get the job done. Takes a Type-C. Now, I don't know what the Type-C charger is for, but we'll find out. Right here is where your shifter will go, which I will be buying later in the future. And then right here is where the power supply goes. It don't have any mounts, but thankfully, the mount that's on the T80, this mount will work on the new one as well. So all the Thrustmaster clamps actually fit on all of them. Alright, so this, I'm assuming, is where your wires will go. Once you get all the wires mounted up here, they have little mounts that go right under here. But like I was telling you, the clamp, this clamp that came from the T80 will actually fit on this one. Or, if I want, I can mount it. It's got mounts as well where I can mount it right on the simulator stand, which I might do that, or I might do the clamp. I'm not sure yet. So this is what it looks like with the clamp on. So it would clamp like that on your table or whatever. So right here is the size difference. This is a little bit bigger wheel. It's got an LCD screen. It's got a bunch of button mapping and modes and everything on this wheel. A lot of features. That's the reason why I went with this wheel. Now it's got all leather from right here. You can kind of see it. So inside it's plastic, which I don't know why they didn't go with the all leather, but that's probably because material cost. They probably try to make this thing as cheap as they could, even though $400 ain't cheap, but I didn't pay that, thankfully. But anyway, this whole wheel is leather on the outside, and then the rest is plastic, so that doesn't really bother me. I like this cool little red tint. It's got a bunch of buttons. Share button, mode button, display button. So I got this because the fact that it's newer, it works on my PlayStation 5 and works on my PlayStation 4. It also has a force feedback that I heard is really good technology. It's got haptic feedback like the DualSense controller does for the PS5. It's got a nice force feedback. So, like say if you're turning a car real sharp, it will actually fight with you like a real car, as if you're turning a real car. It's got LCD screen to show your you know, how fast you're going, stuff like that. And actually, a lot of people complain about this wheel because the paddle shifters, so you can use these as shifters as well. People complain that it's super loud. Super loud, but I actually like the way it feels. That feels really nice compared to this one. More quiet, but this feels more cheap than what this one does. This is actually metal. That's a metal paddle shifter. So yeah, that is what the wheel is looking like. I'm really hoping it works. I'm gonna test it out, and if it works, that is a nice $69 deal that I got on this wheel. And like I said, it is used. Looks like it needs a nice good cleaning, so I'll give it a nice bath, disinfect it. The Thrustmaster T248. So T248 and the T80 right beside each other. Woo! Heck yeah. Definitely an upgrade. So from playing this all my life and upgrading to this one, it's definitely going to be an improvement. Alright guys, I'm going to go get my power supply converter and plug this sucker in and see if it works. Alright, so here's my power supply switch. And I can switch it from 12, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, and 24 volts. So I think I'm going to go from 18 volt, maybe 19 volt. Shouldn't hurt it, since it requires 18 and a half. So if I put it to 19 volt, it'll only be getting a half more volts than what it's supposed to get. So switch it up to where it needs to be. And then you find the tip that you need that will fit, and then plug it in the power supply into the wheel. Alright, so I found the right plug-in that fits on it. The only thing I don't really like is this is a really tight spot to plug things in under here. So that piece fit right in there. So I go ahead and take the power supply and just hook it right up in there. All right, so everything's looking so good so far. Before I get any further mounting it, I'm gonna go ahead and get this nice clean and disinfect the whole wheel. All right, guys, so I cleaned it completely. Looks almost brand new again. Look at that. Whoo-wee. That looks really nice. Really nice. Heck yeah. So it's in still good condition. Really good condition. But does it work? Let's find out. Alright, so gonna have to mount it on the cockpit right here. So we got holes right here to mount it. Okay, and when my wife got me this cockpit, yes, I had to put it together. I didn't really have a video of me putting it together, but it wasn't too hard. You know, you just put the bolts for the gear shifter. You put these down here. You can tighten these and adjust this if you want, so you can adjust it up and down. But you can adjust these if you want. So if you loosen these up, okay, loosen these up here, you can see where I've been sliding it. Kind of took some of the paint off. So if you loosen it enough, you can adjust the height of this, of how far you want it. Okay, you can also adjust the mount right here. You can adjust that up and down. You can adjust this, the whole bar. So it's pretty self-explanatory. The pedals are actually mounted on here. So if you look underneath, I actually have them bolted right on here, so they do not slot at all. But again, I'm gonna upgrade with the 3 pedals, which would be better with the clutch and brakes and gas. And it ends right here. It's got these little things right here, but when I get the rear piece, because there's supposed to be a second piece that goes to this, she only got me the front piece, which is fine, that helps. But when I get the back piece, the bars connect here, runs all the way back, and then when the time comes, this chair actually mounts to them. So if you look under this chair here, so what I'll do is unscrew these wheels off, which the bolts are right there. So you take these bolts off, take the whole wheel off, and then on the bracket, when I get the whole bracket, you mount the bracket, or you mount the chair to the bracket, and then it's mounted onto the whole frame. So I will be ordering that whole back piece, and then it will be one complete racing sim kit. But anyway, all right, back to the Thrustmaster T248. Let's go ahead and mount this sucker. So it weighs 7 pounds, it said on the package. So this is a little bit more heavier than this guy. This guy is like literally like probably 2 pounds, 3. All right, so we're gonna mount this sucker right there. We're gonna have to line up the bolts to the holes. All right, so the cockpit came with all these extra bolts. So these bolts should mount to the wheel. And these Velcros hide the wires, so I can tie the wires up so they're not in the way. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some of these bolts and mount up the wheel. All right, so the mounts don't actually line up properly to these holes. So if I line them up, so one's right there, the other one ain't even near a hole. And I can't go all the way back because it only goes right there. Because if I have it like that, then it's not right. That's not right. So it's got to be like that, and that's far back as it goes, and it does not line up with all the holes. So my other option is the bracket clamp, and this has a bar underneath. So right here is the bar where the clamp actually lines up on. So we're gonna do it that way. All right, guys, so I have the wheel mounted onto the wheel stand, and I actually managed to get one bolt mounted into the wheel, and I got the clamp clamped pretty tight there, so it's not going anywhere, as you see. And I went ahead and organized the cords pretty nice and neat back here. So the cords run there and they go over and down. And right here's the power supply and down into the PlayStation and plugged into the wall. Alright guys, moment of truth, plugging it in. Woo! It's plugged in. And it looks like, to me, it is working. T248. Woo-hoo-hoo! PC, I'm not sure why it says PC, but it's probably something I have to set. Yeah, right there. There we go. Hold up. Exits, PlayStation. Ooh, and that's pretty... Okay. Alright, so I have a game on here. Let's see. Does it recognize it on the PS4? And you can change stuff on the display. But hold up, let me try to get this sucker to connect. It's my first time messing with this. Alright, so I have it back to the main menu. This time I'm going to re-plug it back in. Plug it back in. Once I get it in there. Alright, boots up. Okay. Says T248. Alright, so I'm hitting buttons. Nothing is doing anything. Is there a switch? Hold up. Is there a switch on here where you can switch it to PS4 and PS5? Because on the T80, okay, so the T80 has a switch right here. Has a switch right there that says PS4 and PS3. Alright guys, so it does turn on, it does work. But I'm going to have to figure out why I can't get it to register on the PlayStation. Oh, hold up, hold up. Oh, I figured it out. There we go. I have to set it up the PS4. Okay, okay, now I figured it out. There we go. Okay, alright, that's why. So now, should pull up on there. Alright, so if I go up on this, this is changing something, like the settings on it. I'm trying to figure out how this wheel works. Alright, so I've been messing around with the wheel, and apparently, damn, that's so stiff you can't even turn that. Alright, but I've been messing around with the wheel, okay? Let's see. So, you can be able to adjust all these settings. Temperature, 20, pedals, floor, rotation. I can change the rotation of the wheel. I can have it at 900 degrees, 270 degrees. That's mainly for like racing games. 360, 540, 720, and 900 degrees, which is more for truck simulation games. So, we'll leave it at 900 for now. Force feedback. I can change the strength of the force feedback, which that feels much better. The higher I go, the more harder it is to turn, and that motor's kicking in. About. Yeah, you can change all that. That is crazy. Alright. So it tells you about it. No device. No pedals. Okay. Alright guys, so after messing around with the Thrustmaster T248, so I figured out how to finally get it connected to the PS4. So I will show you guys how to do that real quick. Alright, so make sure you have everything plugged in. You know, your power supply, which is plugged in. But when you go to plug in the USB into the PS4, alright, so let's just say you're going to plug this in. Plug it in. Let it calibrate. Alright. It's going to say T248. And if it doesn't... Okay, so mine says PS4, but let's just say it doesn't. Click on mode. Move it until you get it to whatever system you're using. So PS4, hit mode again to exit out. Alright, and then next what you want to do is hold the share button and the options button together. Hold it for, I don't know, 5 seconds. And then hit the PlayStation button. Alright, so when you hit it, it's going to pop up. Go ahead and hit X to sign in. Boom. Now, this is very important. Alright, so now as you can see, we're connected. Yeah, so we're connected. Alright, so this is very important because I've tried this. Make sure you're on the main menu of the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Make sure there ain't a game running. If there is a game running, it will not connect to your PS4 until you quit the game, unplug it, and then plug it back in, and then hold the share and option button for about 5 seconds, then hit the PlayStation button. Then it will connect. So always make sure you're at the main menu. Alright, so the bad news. Alright, so the good news, everything works on this wheel. So I got an amazing deal. $69 for this wheel. And I managed to have the power supply. I already had a power supply that fit it. And a Type-C cord going to the PlayStation. Now the bad news. Alright, so the pedals. So these two pedals that go to the Thrustmaster T80. Alright, so it plugs in the back of this wheel, but it does not register it or work in any way. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but as of now, I cannot get the pedal to work with this wheel. So I am unable to actually play a game until I'm able to get a set of pedals. Now, the set of pedals that comes with this wheel is supposed to be the Thrustmaster T3 PM. Now, that's the name of the three pedals, which is the clutch, brake, and gas. And the brake has like a spring resistance. So, I'm just going to have to wait until I be able to order the T3 PM pedals. And then I can finally test out this wheel once I get them pedals. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next video when I get all the whole hookup. So like I said, my goal is to get a full simulation kit. So I want to be able to get so far I got the cockpit, right, the cockpit stand, but I want to get the rear. I want to be able to get the gear shifter that sits right here. I need to get the pedals and then mount the chair. It's gonna be amazing. So until then, I will see you guys when that time comes. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, and one more thing. The haptic drive feedback, the force feedback feels freaking amazing on this wheel. And a lot of people complained about the pedals being too loud, but I actually like it because it's magnetic pedals and it just feels so nice. So nice. Like, it's just a nice, satisfying click, to my opinion. And like, I freaking love this wheel so much. Like, the force feedback is just so good. And it rotates at 100, or not 110, or what I meant to say was this wheel also rotates at 900 degrees. So got it all the way, and boom, it goes right back to. Now when you're playing the game, you can feel, I managed to get in the Gran Turismo Sport, and I managed to feel at least the feedback, and like you could feel every bump and crumbs, and like I could be on dirt and you can feel it in the wheel, the resistance of the wheel. When my car like kind of crashed, it kind of went boom, boom, like that all by itself. Overall, my first opinion, first impression, I'm loving this freaking wheel. Cannot wait until I actually get to test it out. I'll see you guys in the next one. I am finally done. Peace.